We're 2 games into the Cup Final, and this series is already intense. From the opening puck drop, both teams came out hard, no slow start, just physical play and non-stop action. The hits have been heavy, scrums have been frequent, and the pace has not let up for a second. There's little space and no easy moments for either side. We've seen some great end-to-end rushes and momentum swings that have kept the outcome unpredictable. Both teams have had their chances, and neither is backing down or giving an inch. Every shift truly matters. Leon and Connor are doing what they do best, driving offense and creating scoring opportunities whenever they're on the ice. Meanwhile, Florida's Rats have been causing chaos and making big plays of their own, turning up the pressure and keeping their team in it. And of course, there's already been controversy, missed calls, and moments that had both fan bases losing their minds. The kind of drama that defines a great final round. These two teams needed a full 9 periods of hockey just to settle the first 2 games, and if that's any indication, the rest of the series is going to only get crazier. Welcome to the Stanley Cup Final. Edmonton wasted no time setting the tone in Game 1, and just over a minute in, Draisaitl scored off a rebound to put the Oilers up 1-0. Rogers' Place was rocking, and it looked like the Oilers were ready to take control early.
A rebound in front, scores! Leon Draisaitl, 66!
McDavid also came this close to having the roof come off the building, but Florida didn't flinch. Midway through the first, Sam Bennett tied it up with his 11th of the playoffs, doing what he always does, planting himself right in that crease. He's been in the middle of everything this postseason, already catching heat for running into guys like Stolarz and Anderson, and this time he made contact with Skinner just before the puck went in. The Oilers challenged for goalie interference, but the goal stood. That backfired quick. The failed challenge gave Florida a power play, and they cashed in. Marchand roofed it to make it 2-1, and in a blink of an eye, the Panthers grabbed the lead and took the momentum with them. In the second, Florida continued to press, with Bennett striking again with his 12th of the playoffs and 2nd of the night. That made it 3-1, and Florida looked firmly in control. But Edmonton, they answered as they always do. Arvidsson cut the lead in half with a good old-fashioned rip that squeaked by Bob, who looked pretty unbeatable all game, and that goal gave the Oilers some life, and they carried it into the third. Matthias Ekholm was the one to tie the game just past the halfway mark of the third period, thanks to a slick pass from McDavid, his 21st of the playoffs. The puck seemed to have eyes of its own, weaving through traffic and landing perfectly on Ekholm's stick. Honestly, I'm not totally sure if McDavid meant to hit Ekholm or he was trying to hit Kane in the slot, but hey, it's McDavid, so let's pretend it was all part of the plan. It was now 3-3, and it was heading into overtime, something we didn't see at all in 7 games last year between these two teams. And the Oilers were buzzing. Bob had to come up huge a few times, but could only do so much. Nosek totally blew it with a dumb penalty, just flipping the puck out of the zone and handing the fans a souvenir, and Wallman let him hear it. He let Nosek know exactly how bad that was, and the Oilers were headed to the man advantage with just 2 minutes left in the first overtime. Then, on that power play, Nuge cycled it down low to Perry, who threw a slick behind the back backhand pass to McDavid, and Connor didn't waste any time finding the Rocket Richard winner waiting right in front to hammer it home. The Oilers completed the comeback and took Game 1 4-3 in overtime. Draisaitl finished with 2 goals, McDavid had 2 assists, and the Panthers let a 2-goal lead slip away. Still, both teams showed plenty. Florida's forecheck gave Edmonton real problems, and Sam Bennett continued his monster playoff run. But Edmonton's firepower, especially up front, proved to be the difference in the end. It was high-paced, physical game with momentum swing, star performances, and no shortage of drama. If this is what Game 1 looked like, the rest of the series might be even better. Game 2 began, and Florida knew they had to come out flying, and they did, with Sam Bennett striking quick on the power play just 2 minutes in.
Bennett scores! Sam Bennett with a record-setting
And it tied an NHL record and set a franchise record for road goals in the playoffs. And if Bennett scored, you just know that there's some controversy. Even though it may not have looked like it, he definitely kicked Ekholm's stick away from him, but the refs are never going to call that, especially in the playoffs. Playoff hockey is full of those gritty, borderline moments, and Bennett owning that one gave the Panthers a quick lead. But the Oilers weren't about to just roll over. Evander Kane came back and sniped one from the left circle. Then barely a minute later, Bouchard got his own rebound and ripped it home, beating Bob low, flipping the scoreboard to 2-1 Edmonton. But it didn't take long for Florida to answer right back, as Seth Jones caught a perfect feed from Luostarinen and put it into the empty cage, knotting it at 2. Then Edmonton was sent to the power play not long after Jones's goal and put together the goal of the playoffs. Leon threw it over to McDavid, who sidestepped Selke winning Sasha Barkov, then toe-dragged number 1 overall pick Aaron Ekblad and fed it back to Leon all in one motion, who made no mistake and put Edmonton up 3-2 to end the period.
Goes for McDavid, another great cut. Look at that! What a goal! Leon Draisaitl! They're at it again! Draisaitl from McDavid!
Just absolute filth from 97 and 29. Florida came out swinging in the second period, dominating puck possession and crashing the Edmonton zone like a storm. Then Kulikov ripped a point shot through the chaos, and Skinner looked to the ref to get a goalie interference call as Tkachuk bumped him a little bit, but no dice. 3-3. Edmonton was then back to the power play, and after a mishandled bouncing puck during the zone entry, it led to the Rat on a shorthanded breakaway, and he makes Skinner look silly, putting it 5-hole.
Marchand with the goal.
The Panthers took their first lead of the game 4-3, and the momentum swung hard in their favor. The third was a back-and-forth war, both teams trading chances and fighting tooth and nail. Edmonton pulled their goalie late and threw everything they had at Florida. With just 18 seconds left on the clock, Corey Perry, the oldest player in the playoffs, slammed home a rebound goal to tie it up at 4-4. The goal was a dagger in the hearts of Florida and set a record for the latest game-tying goal in Stanley Cup Final history. Pure madness from the 40-year-old Corey Perry. And just as insane as the end of that game was, overtime was maybe even wilder. Both teams had chances, but Bobrovsky and Skinner just wouldn't budge. Every shot felt like it could end it, but nothing got through. Then double OT hit, and it finally cracked. Ekholm ripped a slap shot that missed the net and kicked around the boards. Lundell jumped on it and sent Marshy flying the other way. Backhand 5-hole, lights out.
For the Panthers.
Panthers take it 5-4 in a double overtime thriller and not the series at 1-1. Through 2 games, this final already feels 10 times tighter than last year's, and that one went 7 games. We've had back-to-back overtime thrillers, including a double OT classic in Game 2. This isn't just shaping up to be a good series, it has all the makings of a great one, maybe even the best we've seen in the post-salary cap era. And now, Game 3 in Florida is massive. The Oilers, they haven't trailed in a series since their first-round battle with the LA Kings. But that was weeks ago, and this is an entirely different team. Falling behind 2-1 to a Panthers team that punishes every mistake and rarely coughs up leads, that's not the position the Oilers want to be in. Florida, on the other hand, they did what they always do. They answered, and somehow look even more composed, more ruthless than they did a year ago. Game 2 proved what this series really is. A razor-thin line between glory and heartbreak. One bad bounce, one missed stick lift, 1 second too slow, and that's all it takes. Game 3 might not decide the cup, but it's definitely going to tilt the entire series. One team's going to take control, and the other team's going to get pushed to the edge. And let's be real, there was never going to be a feeling out process. Not with this much history, not after last year. These two teams know exactly who they're up against. Game 1 was a comeback. Game 2 was a marathon. Now, it's a sprint into Game 3. This isn't about momentum anymore, it's about survival. Florida wants to blow the roof off at home, and Edmonton wants to take the air right out of that building. The cup is still a long way away, but the weight of it, you can already feel it.